Hey, this is Dean for streetfightertrading.com. I'm talking about the market structure of yesterday and some struggles I had and some reoccurring things or topics that I see and want to point out. And it's just easier to do it in a video than to write it. Um, so, plain chart. Oops, maybe hide this. Now it's plain. Oh, wait, what is that? It's my horizontal indicator. Back. Yeah, there he is. Okay, this is to remind me of my first thing to talk about, which was my first struggle. Like, I was sitting here and the bars print and print, and I'm drawing impulse one, right? Um, let's just make that one nice and green. No, actually not green. What am I talking about? Green would be up, right? So, I'm just sitting here, not really sure, of course, at the market open what's going on. And so we have another impulse, two, already two. And then what's this? Is like maybe a failed three or so. Like, okay. Of course, then I think it's ranging and stuff. But so I'm counting and counting, and then there's yet another, but it goes up higher than this one. So I know if this stuff happens, then most likely we're more in a range, and we shouldn't really draw these impulses anymore. Like here on this one, we cannot really know yet. It could also shoot down, right? So when it doesn't, it's okay to say this is a failed third impulse maybe. But then when we come back here, and I think then we can delete this one again. Just say this is a range, and the next impulse will be the third then down, right? So what my problem was then is I had all these little impulses here, or like I was confused about how many impulses do we actually already have. Is like number 4, 5 fail, then wow 6. Oh man, we are late, right? If I had my $1,000 horizontal indicator, however, you know, just hold it here and you see, okay, here SMA is only flat. So don't worry about late to the party yet. There is actually no real party yet. This will be a pre-party, right? Because EMA is crossing the SMA, but SMA is still going up. So we will call that pre-party. Um, and here also, okay, it first makes a little angle down, right? But then it's flat again. So the first time it actually starts to really angle down is here in this impulse. So that's why I think I'm just gonna get rid of these two and say it's 1, 2, 3. And we're for sure not late. So in this retrace here, which is by the way a nice 1-to-1, right? So in this retrace, we still for sure don't look for a reversal. And I got so mixed up in counting all these impulses that I somehow didn't look at the SMA anymore and tried to find here a one A, B, C, D, E. And I was like just playing the statistics. So, I mean, I saw there is 3 matching highs, but I thought this bar closes top 25%. It's EMA 1, Fibonacci 1. Yeah, actually it would be a 2, right? So the Fibonacci's are also not good. But I just thought good bar, EMA, good to go. And yes, it did make exactly 4 ticks. So with my ATM strategy, it would have been good. Okay, so from a statistical point of view, I could say, yep, that was backed by stats. But it doesn't really do justice to the whole market structure, so I don't like it at all, right? So, first thing, even when there is many weird impulses and stuff, if the SMA is not even angling down, you cannot talk about late to any party. You could talk about being in a range or whatever. But here, the only way you could be late after only one impulse when it angles down is if the impulse is huge. like if this shot down in a straight line down to here, in the first, so to say, impulse of the real party, then you could say, yes, we're already late. But if it does a normal impulse, SMA angling down, then we are looking for a short trade. Okay, so that was the first thing. Then the second thing is the importance of drawing ranges. Not only, the impulses here, they're okay, but they can be confusing, as I said, once it starts to give many failed impulses. So then, if we now switch over to my already drawn market structure, you see how nice and orderly it is once you start drawing the ranges. It's very important. And the tricky part is that they don't, here's a range, then it shoots down. This one actually is pretty good or orderly, because it just comes down up again to about the low of the previous range and builds a new range just below that, which you could say maybe combine this one big one, but it's and this one is a bit confusing because it shoots up higher than the previous range's low that I drew. So there you could get a bit confused and like, where is the bottom actually? It's sometimes really hard to say where is really the top of the range and where is the bottom, and it can also change a little bit. Still, it is better to draw a range bottom and range top as soon as you start seeing these consecutive bounces here. So just for your brain to know, because if I did that here, let's say, like on the right hand, we start to come here and I think, okay, now this range broke. Okay, we bounce up again, we go down, we bounce. So I would then start drawing this one, and on the top I would start to just put the horizontal line here, right? So this is an assumption and tells my brain, don't go long here. Because it is likely, it's likely, it is not said that this is it, right? But it's likely that this could be another small range that gives resistance, and it does. And it was only lucky that it overshot just the right amount. So the statistics helped me in this sense. Still not a good trade. And when you see it like this now, so that was my second point, that draw these ranges, and then the failed breakouts of these ranges. That's all market structure talk. So I'm not talking about specific trades. It's just to study the chart and see what are recurring themes. And one thing here is, you see here we have a breakout of the range to the upside, and then it goes down. Well, it breaks out again. Here we have this one chunk up, and you could say, if you had the line here, it is a failed breakout, right? Before it goes down. Even here on this little range, you see it breaks out and then it shoots up. Here it's hard to say because the range wouldn't really exist yet at which level. But then down here, I mean, this is an epic one, right? Because it makes this 1-to-1 correction, or A, B, C, with the arrows for hindsight. So it makes the failed breakout and then goes through. It cannot really follow through up here, but this is just for the eyes to see that. Sometimes it's hard because you think, oh, maybe my range is up here, but no, there can be these failed breakouts, and it's just practice. I'm practicing myself to find these ranges and to see the breakouts and just look at them. So that was another thing. So draw the ranges, see the failed breakouts, what happens. Then the last thing is these big impulses. There were two of them basically. So this is the huge flush down. By the way, finally to go to yesterday's close. I mean, exactly to the tick. This is not even surprising anymore. So it flushes down. Then we know, of course, we're late to the party. No more short down here. No more short trading. Even though, there is a B, C, D, but I would not go short here. And we have this big surge up. And what I want to talk about is that, because I did the mistake, when you see this surge up and you know this is exhaustive, this move, right? So I am looking for a correction, right? Or also here, it's an exhaustive move in a way. So we're looking for reversal in a way, or a minor correction, minor reversal also. But don't for sure take the first possibility. This is just death or gambling, because already with the short-term trend line you see it's just like bouncing into it. I mean, this is just clear for me that even though it is a two-legged pullback, but don't enter here short, right? Only because you see it's the first time you could. Don't. Because what we can observe, it makes the big surge down, like you could say it first goes to here, but then it starts like jogging a bit down more. Here it was obvious because we didn't hit yesterday's close, so that was absolutely clear to me that there's a high probability, we have to say, that it is gonna go a bit more down, right? Here, on the other hand, you could think, oh, well, that's it, right? Little clue could be if you have this range, and that was also strange to me. Why doesn't it come up here, right? So, but yeah, so also here, don't take for sure the first possibility to correct. And I was so antsy, and I don't know, just this is the psychological factor. I just wanted to trade, and I thought, oh, there's a nice TTT. So here we have the two-legged pullback, right? A B C D E, A B C D E. Then we have the failed two-legged pullback that fails, right? Here to the upside. Only one tick and it fails. So then I thought, wow, yeah, the failed two-legged pullback failed. The failed second entry failed. So we can go short. But it's too early still, I think. I have no real reason other than it's far away from the EMA, whatever. Like I just don't like it at all. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. If the failed two-legged pullback fails, doesn't mean that the other direction has to succeed. It's very important. So I think for this TTT stuff, we really need very good support reasons in a way, or directional reasons, or whatever. But this is just not enough. This little jogging around, and what it does, and this is the point again. After the huge surge, okay, first maybe I don't know, it corrects a little sideways, but then it does this last push up, and this is a very, for me, a reoccurring theme, that you have a big surge and then yet another little push, and then it's time to look for maybe whatever you want, right? I mean, I'm not telling you, but like if in our thing it would be a failed second entry or failed two-legged pullback that we then would look for, which is down here, right? But I don't want to talk about setups or anything really right now. It's just about these observations. So here we have the big surge down, then some like of whatever, and then it pushes again, and then it's like we're good. It's as if you have an engine that is going full throttle, and then it's like stuttering a little bit and tries a last little push. And yeah, probability, I mean, it could, the motor could start up again. Yes, everything can happen. It's just about probabilities, right? Cool. So yeah, that's it from my side. And nice that the Pikachu came on the last bar before not the close, but before we say our session is, so to say, over, and saved the day to our nice one-to-one target right here. And also this, it doesn't have to go there, right? It struggled. It fought and struggled multiple times, and then finally pushed through. It doesn't have to. It could have been that it's just stuck and dies off a little. All possible. So I hope that was helpful, or just some inspiration maybe for the weekends to look at. charts. Yeah, have a nice day and a nice weekend. Bye bye.